What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. And today we're going to be rebuilding the Portland Trailblazers post their trade deadline after they've made all the moves that they've made to free up all this cap space. Before we get in this video though, guys, if you could leave it a like and of course subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not already, always greatly appreciated. Thank you guys so much for that. So I gotta be honest with you, as a Portland Trailblazers fan, I really don't know what to expect this offseason. This team seems to think they have something up their sleeve, so I'm not, like I said, I'm not really sure what that something's going to be. We'll figure it out once we get to that point in the offseason in real life and kind of see what their plan is there. So I'm going to try to do my very best today to try to build a team around Damian Lillard based off what the Portland Trailblazers are doing in real life. So this is going to be an uphill climb. It's going to be tough, but we're going to be doing it, man. We're going to try to succeed with building around Damian Lillard and winning a championship here in Portland. So obviously Dame is out for the season most likely this year. So it's just, well, Josh Hart and, of course, Anthony Simons. I think they have a list at shooting guard right now. Is that what it is? No, he's at point guard. They just want to start Bledsoe for whatever reason. I'm assuming it's because it's a defensive preferred system. That's why. So let's fix that real quick and make sure that Bledsoe does even touch rotation. I don't think Bledsoe is going to even play for Portland this year, obviously. So let's move this to perimeter centric. That way that is taken care of. And then, like I said, we could put Anthony Simons here, Josh Hart. So Anthony Simons, Josh Hart. Nasir Little is also out for the season, so I got to put him out as well. So we'll fix that here in a second. So we'll just throw him down here. And then Joe Ingles, also another guy that's out for the season. So we'll fix the rotation and then we'll get it correct. All right, so now that we got the rotation pretty much correct here for season number 1, not that it really matters. We just kind of did it anyway. Josh Hart's debut was cool. We beat the New York Knicks, so that's cool. But I would have rather have lost that game, obviously, for the tank, but it is what it is. So Anthony Simons, Josh Hart, CJ Ellaby, Justice Winslow, Nurkic, Ben McLemore, Dennis Smith Jr., Keon Johnson, and Elijah Hughes for the rest of the season. So let's go ahead and see how this Portland Trailblazers roster is going to finish out. Obviously, our pick is lottery protected, so let's tank as much as possible. Let's get into this offseason with 2 lottery picks. Hopefully, obviously, we have the New Orleans pick if it lands 5 through 14. So hopefully, we get that lucky. Hopefully, New Orleans doesn't make the playoffs. We'll see what happens, and hopefully, we get 2 draft picks, like I said. So at the end of the season, Nikola Jokic wins MVP, Cade Cunningham wins Rookie of the Year, Drummond's your 6th man on the Brooklyn Nets, defensive player goes to Giannis, and Tyrese Maxey most improved, and Monty Williams is your coach of the year. So one thing that's going to be pretty important, obviously we're in the lottery, which is great, but New Orleans is in the play-in tournament. So please, LA, take care of them for me. Take them out at all costs. Please beat them. Let's go look at the stats before we go any further though. So player stats, Damian Lillard when he did play was 28 points, 16 from Nurkic, 12 for Anthony Simons, 12 from Ben McLemore, and then 10.5 from Winslow. So obviously nothing that impressive, but Bledsoe even got some minutes in there, I guess. As you can tell, CJ Ellaby had 8 points. But please, Clippers, take out the Pelicans. Please do it. And no, New Orleans is still here, man. New Orleans, don't make the postseason, man. At all costs, just do not make it. If you guys make the playoffs, we don't get the pick. And they lost. Let's freaking go. Thank the Lord. They are not in the postseason. We get their draft pick. That was almost so close. Oh, man, that would have been stressful. I mean, that would have just ruined the CJ McCollum trade, obviously. I mean, it would have conveyed into a future first, but still, I need a first now. I need a first to build around Damian Lillard right freaking now. And the Boston Celtics of all teams go on to win it all. So W, I guess, for the Boston Celtics. But let's get into the offseason. And like I said, man, this is going to be a very big challenge ahead of us. How are we going to build this team around Damian Lillard and put a championship team around him? Obviously, the window is very small. We're projected the 9th pick, and we're also projected the 6th pick. So 2 lottery picks is going to be very, very helpful, though, for sure. Whether we trade both of them, draft a couple players here, there's a lot of decisions here that we have to make. And I'm not sure what Portland's going to do in real life. But can we get lucky? We get the number 2 overall pick, and we also get number 7. So we have number 2 and number 7 in that CJ McCollum trade. That pick, at least in this video game, became the 2nd pick overall. So I mean, if that happened in real life, I would feel pretty good about what we got in return then. So we got the 2nd overall pick. W. All right, man. So let's go ahead and get into the staff signing. We're going to keep Chauncey Billups, obviously. And I think Portland, usually you're not able to sign anybody because I usually don't mess with the coaching staff too much because sometimes I get this met. Never mind. We're going to be able to sign a couple of guys for our coaching staff. So that's going to be nice for us. So we'll sign. Actually, let's not sign Owen Taylor. Let's sign Wing Whisper instead. And then we'll go to our shot doctor and let's get Eric Turner here. Sign Eric Turner to be our shot doctor. Sign him up. And then let's go to our big man coach and let's get Rex Russell to be our big man coach. And let's talk about the Portland Trailblazers offseason after this. All right, let's go to the draft. So on draft night, if we take a look at some of the salaries that we have right now, let's see. It's only Nasir Little, Winslow, Keon Johnson, Greg Brown, and Lozada. So it'll be interesting to see. Obviously, Portland, like I said, if they're going to make trades, it's going to have to be using their draft picks. They don't have a ton of young pieces to throw in trades. And Nasir Little is one, I guess, that you could have in a trade. Keon Johnson, Greg Brown. So, you know, free agency is here and we could go for Bradley Beal. But to be honest with you, I don't even want the Portland Trailblazers to go after Bradley Beal in real life. We've seen that show. We've seen a good backcourt. I know Beal is better than CJ arguably, but I just don't really want to see a backcourt be our two best things about our team again. I just don't want to see that. So, Jeremy Grant obviously was kind of a trade rumor that Portland was very heavily still involved in trying to get Jeremy Grant. So that's actually probably to be maybe the guy we go for from Detroit. It sounds like they were the most interested. So I would like Jeremy Grant as an addition, but hopefully that's not your only addition because I'm not sure Jeremy Grant exactly makes you a championship contender. There's also like Siakam potentially if Toronto was going to move on from him. You can maybe convince Toronto to give us Siakam. And honestly, I feel like Siakam would give us a higher ceiling than Jeremy Grant, at least in this video. And obviously it would also depend if Toronto was willing to give him up, which honestly, that's one of the more realistic options. I guess John Collins is kind of a interesting thought as well. So I'm going to try to make a trade for a power forward. It's literally probably going to be between Jeremy Grant or Pascal Siakam, to be honest with you, because those are probably the two most players that are probably the most available for Portland to get. And like I said, it also really depends whether Siakam will become available if Toronto wants to move on from him or not. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props website that allows you to go over or unders on NBA players. That way you watch the game and have a lot of fun with it. So for example, this is what it would look like on desktop. Also kind of looks like this obviously on your phone, but you just simply pick 2, 3, 4, 5 players, however many you want to choose. You just simply click over, under, whatever you want to do. And then you can either 3 times your money, 5 times your money, even 10 times your money, as long as you get all 4 right. Even if you wanted to do power plays or flex plays, it really does not matter. Either way, it works out however you want it to. So if you guys want to join Prize Picks, the link's in the description. Use my promo code Crushables when you sign up. So like I said, I think Siakam raises our ceiling higher than Jeremy Grant does. So that's what I'm going to try to go for. I'm going to offer the 7th overall pick, a future first in Nasir Little, and see if they accept this. They do not. Okay. Not sure I'd be willing to give up more, to be honest with you. I mean, we could throw like Greg Brown or Lozada in here, I guess, and that's not going to move it either. So like I said, I'm not trying to give up another first. I mean, we could technically, but not sure I would love doing it. I already hate giving up Nasir Little, to be honest with you. So maybe we just go bark up the Pistons instead. I guess maybe Jeremy Grant will be the better option. Obviously, I'm not giving all this up, but maybe I don't even know if I'd give up the 7th pick for Jeremy Grant low key. So number 2 and number 7 and maybe 2025, 2026 or something like that. What pick are they asking for? I think that's the 7th pick, and I promise you, I'm not giving you the 7th overall pick for Jeremy Grant. I don't think that makes any sense for me. And I'd hate to throw Nasir Little in this, but do we really do this, man? I don't want to. I'm not going to lie. 2026 Nasir Little. I really don't want to throw the 7th or number 2 for Jeremy Grant. So let's offer this again. They want one of my picks. I don't want Kelly Olynyk. I have nothing to do with him. 2025, and they agree. So we gave up Nasir Little. I hate the fact that we give him Nasir Little, but at the end of the day, we got Jeremy Grant, I guess. So he's going to be a little bit cheaper, 21 million. And then, yeah, so that's going to be interesting. I guess that moves the needle for us a little bit. Don't know how much, but we got Jeremy Grant. And, hey, we were able to keep both our picks as well. So just experimenting a little bit. We could also bring in, like, another talented player here. But since we are trying to be realistic today, I'm going to go just jump into this draft and see if we can get at number 2 and number 7. So number 2, obviously, you kind of walk away with either Paulo or even Jabari Smith Jr., or you could even draft Chet Holmgren at center, technically. But I kind of like the idea of grabbing Paulo low-key. So that's might be what I do. Even Chet Holmgren would be cool. I guess this would allow us to maybe move on from Houston Nurkic if we want to do something like that. But I'm going to go for Paulo here at number 2 overall, and then I'm going to simulate at number 7 and see if we can get at number 7. So number 7, Jaden Ivey is available. I mean, technically, if we do move on from Damian Lillard, you could have Jaden Ivey and Anthony Simons in the backcourt in the future. So yeah, I kind of like that idea as well. So we walk away with Jaden Ivey and Paulo. Feel pretty good about that, honestly. So we'll have Paulo and Jaden Ivey looking like that. Player options, Josh Hart. We'll accept. Low-key kind of want to accept Eric Bledsoe's contract, but at the same time, I do not. So I'm going to decline it. I'm going to accept Josh Hart, though, and then qualifying offer CJ LB, Elijah Hughes, and then Anthony Simons, Trendon Warford are guys that I could see coming back to Portland. And then for free agency, what do we got going on here? So Apparently Portland has cap space, right? But I know I've kind of used this some of it, so I don't really know what it's looking like now. Let's go look at our salary cap breakdown. We are still, I mean, I'm sure that's cap holds that are killing us, right? No, dead cap, and we're negative 64 million still. Okay, interesting. I mean, I guess we brought in Jeremy Grant, but I didn't know that would kill our cap space that much, low key. Nurkic's cap hold might be crazy. I don't know. I'm not sure. Can I sign? Well, I guess I still don't have cap space according to 2K. Whatever. I don't know, man. I brought in Jeremy Grant, so that probably killed the cap a little bit, but whatever. So let's take a look. Not governor profile. So we have Damian Lillard at point guard right now. We have Josh Hart, Jaden Ivey, which I like, and then Keon Johnson. We have no small forward right now. Jeremy Grant and Winslow, and then Paulo at the center right now. So honestly, Anthony Simons and Houston Nurkic, I think, are guys we're going to be bringing back. I honestly don't see Portland finding a center better than Nurkic, really. Unless if they somehow traded for Miles Turner, which I don't know. Like I said, I think Indiana's going to be keeping him now. I literally think Nurkic will be the center for Portland going forward. I don't know how much they're going to give him. And honestly, I think you shouldn't give him more than 14 million. Unfortunately, in 2K, I don't think I can lowball him that much. I can give him 2 years, 17 million. Yeah, he declines that. So I'm going to have to pay him a lot of money. In real life, like I said, I would not give him more than 14 million a year, in my opinion anyway. So I'll give him like a 3-year team option at the end, something like that. That way we have, you know, the ability to eventually move on from Nurkic if we need to. But like I said, no more than 14 million in my opinion. And then Joe Ingles, yes, we did trade for him, but I don't see Portland re-signing him. I mean, he's 34 years old. I don't really know how much he can help. I mean, not saying Ingles is like necessarily a bad player, but I feel like he's just obviously a little bit, you know, washed. Not totally washed, but just like obviously 34. You really can't rely on Joe Ingles to be like a 3-and-D wing player you can rely on to be your starter or anything like that. I don't think anyway, unless I'm just sleeping on Joe Ingles heavily. But I do want Anthony Simons back as well, obviously. So we're just going to give Anthony Simons a 5-year contract. He's going to be in Portland for a long time. So just like that, this is Anthony Simons, Damian Lillard, Josh Hart, Jaden Ivey. So what I'm going to do is we're going to move Anthony Simons to shooting guard for now, because it sounds like it's going to be a Dame and, of course, Anthony Simons backcourt, unless he had Josh Hart. But technically what we could do with Josh Hart is we can move him to the small forward. Not sure that's the best idea. I mean, he's a decent defender, but he's 6'5", which isn't wholly undersized, but maybe a little bit. So it's Damian Lillard, Anthony Simons, Jaden Ivey got the draft, Josh Hart, Jeremy Grant, Justice Winslow, and then we have Nurkic and Paulo. So I think Paulo technically is more of a power forward than he is a center, so we can move Paulo to power forward still as well. We'll have Paulo play power forward, Dame. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Probably need to sign like a backup small forward, backup point guard or something like that. So let's see what we got out here. Kenrich Williams, James Ennis, Danny Green, Frank Kaminsky, Cody Zeller. We could use a backup center, obviously. Cody Zeller might be a guy you bring back if you want to. I'm not going for Ennis Cantor. We've seen that story too many times in Portland. Kevon Looney actually sounds like a decent idea as our backup center. I'll go for Kevon Looney. I kind of like that. So we'll get Kevon Looney to be our backup center. And then Bledsoe, of course, we can get back. And honestly, I kind of like what Dennis Smith was able to accomplish at the backup point guard spot at times. So, you know what? We can reward him with a 2-year contract. And is this a championship roster for Portland? I mean, I don't know, man. Damian Lillard. I mean, it really depends on how good Ivy and Paulo are for us, to be honest with you. But Jeremy Grant is the guy, like I said, that was most rumored for Portland to go after. And like I said, Jeremy Grant, Siakam are the guys that I see the most, like, are going to be the most available, I feel like, for Portland to get. And we're going to move Jeremy Grant shot tendency like crazy because I do want him to be really good for us. And then Anthony Simons, wherever it's at, again, I want him to be really good for us as well. So going to need that shot tendency to boost up quite a bit. All right, let's go to next season. Player progression is going to look something like this. Warford Ellaby's all back. Damian Lillard's already, you know, regressing down to an 87 overall. Nurkic is 84, 83, 82, 81, 81. I mean, let's see if 2K even respects us enough to even put this team in the playoffs. I mean, I kind of like what we were able to accomplish this offseason for the most part. But like I said, I really hope Portland has a rabbit in the hat or something like that to pull out some kind of trick, because I don't really see how we're going to build a championship roster in one offseason. But again, I'm not in the NBA and I'm not a general manager, so maybe they have something planned that we're just not aware of. But we'll see what happens. The rotation's looking like this for now. Damian Lillard, Jaden Ivey, they want to start. Josh Hart, Paulo at the power forward, Nurkic. So they don't want to start Jeremy Grant, and they don't want to start Anthony Simons either. So they want to just go ahead and start these young goons, which I'm not totally opposed to, but I'd prefer Anthony Simons to start, to be honest with you. So we'll move that back the way it is. Paulo will be the 6th man, Kevon Looney, and then Keon Johnson's actually progressed quite a bit for us, which is cool. And Anthony Simons at 29. Josh Hart I like, and then we'll move Jaden Ivey's minutes down just a little bit, and then maybe Paulo's. We'll move Jeremy Grant to like 35. We'll move Anthony to like 32-ish, and then I do want Damian Lillard obviously to have quite a bit of minutes, but I do want my young players getting a lot of minutes. So all right, let's see what happens this season. Proficiency wise is sitting at a 4-star perimeter centric. So could this be the starting 5 next year for Portland? And if it is, does this lead to anything? Let's see what happens here in 2K at the very least. So yeah, this season didn't go planned at all. MVP goes to John Morant. Jabari Smith wins Rookie of the Year. Kevin Porter wins 6th man. Rudy Gobert wins Defensive Player. And Jalen Noel wins Most Improved. And Taylor Jenkins is your Coach of the Year. And Matthew Ash is your Executive. So here's your All-NBA first team: John Morant, Luka Doncic, Giannis, Jason Tatum, Jokic. And then here's your All-NBA second team. You have Trae Young, Simmons, Kevin Durant, Butler, Embiid. And here's your All-NBA third team: All Defensive first team and All Defensive second team. So yeah, this season, like I said, didn't really go as planned. We didn't make the playoffs at all. We had 20 from Anthony Simons, 19 from Jeremy Grant, 12 from Ivy, 12 from Nurkic, 12 from Paulo, and then 27 from Damian Lillard. So I mean, it went about as I expected. We tried our best, and 2K is not going to give us the benefit of the doubt. Maybe in real life this could lead to something, but in 2K I kind of had a feeling it obviously wasn't going to lead to anything. So we are going to have another lottery pick though, because I believe the Portland Trailblazers lottery pick is protected, is lottery protected until 2028 or something crazy like that. So even though it'll say that Chicago Bulls have our lottery pick, it is actually technically ours. So that's going to be good. So honestly, after one season of not making the playoffs, I would assume Damian Lillard would finally have enough, and he'd probably be gone. So he'd probably request a trade and be like, hey man, send me out of here. So we actually have the 8th pick in the draft. And we can also trade Damian Lillard away, like I said. Finally, it's probably best that we do that finally, because like I said, we did our best. It just didn't work. So I'm sorry, Dame, and I'd hate to see you go in real life, but maybe it's the best. Maybe it's for the best. Maybe it's just for the best. So first, before we actually trade Damian Lillard away, I'm actually going to be going into the draft with our 8th overall pick. And would you look at that? Amani Bates falls to us at number 8, and we're 100,000% going to take him here. So already love that addition to the team. We're gonna have Amani Bates come out of this draft with us. Player options: Josh Hart. I mean, technically I think we could probably get a first for him, so yeah, I'm going to accept that. If I was still betting around Dame, I'd probably keep Josh Hart, but we're not obviously anymore. Like I said, in real life, I just think if doomsday scenario, if we didn't make the playoffs again, and then Jeremy Grant, we could probably maybe do a sign and trade with him as well. So there's definitely ways we can still get assets. So let's start with the Damian Lillard thing. So I do want to trade Damian Lillard, like I said, just because I think it makes sense at this point. If we weren't going to make the playoffs again, it's just time for him to go. Unfortunately, it just is. I want to try to make a trade with the Knicks, but I don't want Quickly or Quentin Grimes. I want RJ Barrett if I can get it. This makes some sense as well, but I've traded for Ben Simmons and so many damn Trailblazers rebuilds I can't even count. So kind of want to be a little bit different today. The Raptors, I guess, could give me OG. That would be cool. And I refuse to trade Dame for this package, is what the Lakers will be offering. It's not happening. It's just not happening. So let's go to the Knicks. So Quickly and Quentin Grimes in its own right is not bad, but I prefer, wait, I guess they don't have RJ Barrett right now. Is he gonna resign with you guys or what? Because that's who I want. If you don't get him back, I'm probably not gonna give him to you. He has, all right, well, let's see if the Knicks decide to match his offer. I'm not sure they will, but let's just go ahead and get started with the other things I wanted to accomplish then. So Jaden Ivey and Anthony Simons is going to be backcourt of the future now. So let's just go ahead and move Anthony Simons to the point guard. And then Jaden Ivey will be the shooting guard, and Dame will be gone eventually. And then we'll have Keon Johnson as the backup shooting guard, which is great. We have Amani Bates here now. And then we have Paulo, Greg Brown, and then Kevon Looney and Nurkic. So I do want to trade Josh Hart for a pick or two if I can get one, just because I think Josh Hart would be able to bring us something like that. So let's see. Norman Powell in a first. Don't want that. Clint Capella in a first. Kenrich Williams, Davion Mitchell in a first. The Knicks want to give me a 2027 first for him. Josh Richardson in a first from the Lakers. I mean, I'll definitely take a first round pick for sure. Jonathan Isaac, Maurice Wagner from the Mavericks, and a first round pick. Yeah, we'll take this first. The Mavericks get themselves Josh Hart, which will be a nice addition for them. And we get Maurice Wagner, which I'm not sure what we'll do with him, but hey, he's here for now. And then we do want to do a sign and trade with Jeremy Grant as well. So let's sign Jeremy Grant to a 4-year deal, and then let's immediately trade him away. That way we don't lose him for nothing. So Jeremy Grant, it was a good try, but obviously it didn't really work out. Did RJ Barrett get signed yet? Because I'm going to trade Damian Lillard for him, I think. Let's see. Did he go back to the Knicks? I don't know if he did or not. I wasn't paying attention. So the Knicks, in fact, get RJ Barrett back. So we're going to try and make something happen there. We're going to trade Jeremy Grant and then trade Damian Lillard. So we're going to trade Jeremy Grant to the Los Angeles Lakers for a 2025 draft pick. The Lakers might suck by then. Who knows? So we're going to go ahead and make that offer, and we're going to be happy about that. And then last but not least, the next thing we need to do, and I'm going to be very, very sad doing it. I'm going to miss this man. If we eventually have to trade this guy, I'm going to miss him. But this is exactly what I wanted. I wanted RJ Barrett from the Knicks. Now, obviously, I think it would be way more than this, but unfortunately in 2K, it's rather impossible to get the packages, for superstar players like this. Obviously, in my opinion, and some people may disagree because I've seen weird, wild offers before, I think Damian Lillard would be worth something around like what Anthony Davis was. Maybe not quite as much, but definitely similar because Damian Lillard is obviously older now. But Peyton Watson, $14 million. So I guess I have to take Evan Fournier. Is that what's happening here? I don't love trading the first round pick, and you know what? Like I said, Jaylen Brown is cool as well, but I don't want Mark Smart's money. But we are taking Evan Fournier's money at the same time. So I don't want to give you a first, though. I mean, if anything, the Knicks should be giving me first round picks. We're talking about Damian freaking Lillard here, just averaged 27. So obviously, if I could trade override, I would, but I can't. So I'm not going to do that. This should be something like this. I'm not giving Jaden Ivey, obviously, but unfortunately, 2K, you just get finessed when you're trading superstar players away. So unfortunately, I'm going to make this trade. And like I said, if this was real life, Dame is not going for this. It's going to be more and more picks, and terrible trade for Damian Lillard. But unless if I was trade overriding, which I'm sure most of you wouldn't mind, but I'm not going to do it to piss some people off. So Damian Lillard is gone now, and now we have RJ Barrett to show for it. So yeah, kind of like that. So this is rather interesting now. Nurkic, I guess, can still be the center for now. We can decline his option next year. And I don't think there's really anything else I want to do. So, all right. We did it. I'm going to miss him. He's gone now. And now we have a young roster who can maybe turn into something. Paulo's already up to an 86. RJ Barrett, 84, 84, 82, 78, 78. I mean, honestly, man, I think this team could actually do something this year. I even after trading Dame, I still think this team is somehow going to make the postseason. No, don't quote me on it, but I think it could happen. The rotation is going to look something like this. It's going to be Anthony Simons, Jaden Ivey, RJ Barrett, Paulo, Nurkic, Keon Johnson, Josh Richardson, Kevon Looney, and Moritz Wagner. Okay, immediately, I don't want Josh Richardson in the rotation, to be honest with you. I just would rather put Amani Bates in there and call it a day. So Amani Bates would rather have you in there, of course, like I said. So yeah, we're going to move that and keep it the way it is. All right, man. We're going to simulate this season now with this brand new rotation. And honestly, man, it sucked trading Damian Lillard away, but it had to be done. It had to be done. Let's go ahead and simulate to the end of this season. And hey, let's see if we make the playoffs or something. Would you look at that? We end up actually making the playoffs. Trae Young wins MVP. Victor wins Rookie of the Year on the Houston Rockets. Johnny Davis, sixth man, Giannis defensive player, and Keon Johnson wins Most Improved Player. So hey, we didn't get so bad of a player out of the Norm Powell trade. We got Keon Johnson, who's going to win Most Improved Player in the future. Did you guys not know that? All-NBA first team, All-NBA second team, All-NBA third team. We didn't look at the second team, and the All-NBA third team, All Defensive first team, and All Defensive second team. So hey, we're the 5th seed in the Western Conference, which is a W. Player stats wise, Anthony Simons led the way with 20, 19 from RJ Barrett, 16 from Jaden Ivey, 15 from Paulo, 13 from Nurkic, 13 from Amani Bates, and 11 from Keon Johnson. So I feel pretty good about that, actually. We're going to probably move on from Nurkic this offseason, unless if we somehow win a championship this year, which I don't think we're going to, but hey, you never really know. So let's see what we got here to deal with in Houston. You got LeBron freaking James. So yeah, we're going to lose. Somebody current round. LeBron really wanted to play with John Wall that bad. He went to Houston and play with them. All right, I got you. Somebody current round. And whoa, are we going to... We just beat LeBron James in the first round. W. Now we get to play the Grizzlies, who got Cameron freaking Reddish. W for them. I don't know. Can we beat the Grizzlies somehow? No, we lost in 5. Okay, hey, at least we got to the second round, though. Definitely a good start, obviously, especially after trading Dame away. The Knicks didn't even make the playoffs, so who really lost a trade? So I'll take it. All right, man. This is going to be another huge offseason. Draft lottery time. Obviously, we're not going to have our draft pick this offseason. It's going to say we do, but since it did finally convey, obviously, it's going to be going to the Chicago Bulls. So I'm going to be sending that over to Chicago. And then, honestly, there's not going to be much else I want to do. I think I'm just going to simply sign and trade, or probably accept Nurkic's team option and then trade him away. and get a center, I guess. And that's it. I'm going to run it back. So accepting Nurkic's team option and sending him over Toronto for James here as a center and a lottery protected pick in the future. But the reason why we're doing that is I think we're going to have cap space to sign a center. So yeah, that's kind of why I wanted to accomplish that as well. So now we can plug in a center here. We got a nice backup center as well, which is great. Paulo at the power forward, RJ Barrett, Amani Bates, Jaden Ivey, Keon Johnson. Gonna need a backup point guard. And like I said, we're gonna be going for a center now. So let's see if we can get, we can technically go for Anthony Davis. Not gonna do that, obviously. I kind of want to keep this team young. Low key, I want to go for James Wiseman, but I don't know if they're gonna allow, the Warriors are probably end up matching that, I would assume, but I guess you don't really know. So Mitchell Robinson wouldn't be too bad either, and Kungwu maybe would be cool. If we can't get obviously James Wiseman, Tillman. So yeah, let's throw Kungwu a contract. Why not? Not sure Kungwu would get this much money, but hey, we'll throw it to him anyway. Prefer James Wiseman, not gonna lie. So do they match? Yes, they do. Okay, we can get a Kungwu though, I think. I mean, dude, we can go for Anthony Davis, but I don't know, man. I just don't know if that makes any sense. Karl Towns would be cool as well, Mitchell Robinson, but I kind of wanted to keep the team on the same timeline. That way they can all grow together. So you know what? This is kind of weird. Actually, Kungwu is really undersized. Do we really want to sign him? Or do we want to go for something different? I could just go for AD, but like I said, I mean, this would have been cool if I still had Damian Lillard, but yeah, AD is going to Chicago, it looks like. Karl Towns at 28, Christian Wood, Mitch Robinson on Kungwu. I don't know, man. I'm not sure I want to pay on Kungwu that much to be my full-time center. Washington would be cool. Jalen Smith, Zeke, but none of these are really moving the needle for me, man. I really want to get like a legitimate big man. At the same time, though, I think as long as we get like a rim running center, I don't think it would hurt us too much. So Mitchell Robinson at 7 foot maybe could do the job at 26 years old. I won't offer him too long-term of a contract, but I guess I'll like him more than Nurkic in a way. So Mitchell Robinson, welcome to the team. Hopefully you're pretty decent for us. And then last but not least, Simons, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So just a backup power forward or backup point guard is kind of what we need for the rest. Rui Hachimura, let's see, point guards wise, Monte Morris. Then we even have Trey Jones out here. I think I'm going to go for, let's see, do we want Derrick Jones Jr.? We have Kessler Edwards out here as well. Herbert Jones. You know what? Actually, I'm going to get Herbert Jones as a role player here. So Herbert Jones, welcome to Portland, my friend. And that is going to be the last offseason, I think. I really want to just see, I mean, we made the playoffs last year, so I honestly think this team could actually accomplish something this year. So definitely been kind of a roller coaster ride of a rebuild, not going to lie. But Paulo's up to a 91. 87, 86, 85. So I mean, like I said, if Portland can somehow, you know, get number 2 and number 7 in the draft, I'll feel so much better. I mean, technically I'll feel great. And low key, I'm not gonna lie, and I hate to say this because obviously I love Damian Lillard. He's my favorite freaking player. I have like so many damn posters of him over here. But if we get number 2 and number 7, I really wouldn't like to trade those picks for like veterans to help out. I mean, I get you want to win a championship with Dame. The same time, like, I don't know, man, it's just so hard to really, it's hard to figure out what we should do, but I just don't see us building a championship roster in one offseason around Damian Lillard. I think it's going to be nearly impossible, but we'll see what happens. But that doesn't matter because I'm not the GM in real life. We're the GM here in 2K, and I think we've done a pretty damn good job. So let's just see how this final season goes for us. I feel like we should be a top, team in the West. So hopefully that's how it pans out here. Chauncey Billups ends up winning Coach of the Year as we went 60-22. I mean, this is like I said, this is like what I want to see. Paulo end up making an All-NBA second team as well. So yeah, Paulo got unleashed. Player stats, we had 23 from Anthony Simons, 20.5 from Paulo, 20 from RJ Barrett, 19 from Jaden Ivey, 18.5 from Amani Bates. So I mean, honestly, we got really lucky in the lottery in this rebuild. Amani Bates falling to us was clutch as well. But just think about it this way. If Portland somehow gets like number 2, number 7, something crazy like that, you draft those 2 young guys. You can try it with Dame for 1 year, I guess, if you really want to. Then if it doesn't work out, trade Dame to the Knicks for RJ Barrett and some other things or whatever, and you're on your way. That's how I feel we should do it, but we'll see what happens in real life. Similar to play in, and we get to play the Utah Jazz. So I'm determined to win a championship here. Somebody current round against Utah, and hopefully don't lose to the 8th seed. Okay, that got really close, but now we're playing the Pelicans, and I'm assuming we're playing CJ McCollum here. Is he still here? And Josh Hart went back to New Orleans. CJ McCollum, where are you at? And no, CJ is not in New Orleans anymore. Where's my man CJ at? I'm not going to go on a search for him. Never mind. I don't even care. Somebody current round, and we are going to, of course, lose to the Pelicans. Why would we beat them? semi the playoffs, and we got the Rockets going on to win it all. LeBron James wins Finals MVP there in Houston. Damn, it sucks we lost to the Pelicans in 7, but at the end of the day, man, Portland's future has me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. I really hope they make the right decision. As much as I would love to build a championship roster around Dame and win it all in 1 year, don't know how realistic that really is. Thank you guys for watching. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.